So if you've ever thought about starting your own business, you probably know it is not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. Today, we're going to break down the 4 main paths you can take as an entrepreneur. We'll look at how each one lines up with different levels of ambition, time, and resources so you can figure out which one really clicks with your own goals. Okay, let's get into it.
But first, you gotta ask yourself a really important question. What's your end game here? I mean, what do you really want? Are you dreaming of the freedom to just pack up and travel the world? Are you trying to build massive wealth and totally shake up an industry? Or hey, maybe it's just about earning some extra cash on the side, or maybe making a real, meaningful impact. Your answer to that question, that's the key to everything. It's what's gonna tell you which path is yours.
All right, let's kick things off with our first path, the lifestyle business. This one is for anyone who wants to design a life they absolutely love first and then build a business that supports that specific life. It's all about making the business work for you and not the other way around.
So what exactly is a lifestyle entrepreneur? Well, it's someone who basically flips the old school business model right on its head. See, they don't start with a product and then just hope to get rich. Nope. They start with a life goal. Maybe that goal is earning, say, $5,000 a month to travel or $100,000 a year so their family feels secure. Then they build a business that is specifically engineered to hit that exact number. Not necessarily more, just that number. You know, Tim Ferriss has the perfect word for this in his book, The 4-Hour Work Week. He calls it a muse. Just think for a second how much of your mental energy, your brain power, gets eaten up by worrying about money. A muse is a business designed to automate your income and just take that worry off the table. It frees up your time and your mind to focus on what actually makes you happy, whether that's learning a new skill, hanging out with your family, or just, enjoying your life. And these are the kinds of systems we're talking about. You could become a Udemy instructor or create some other kind of digital product that just sells again and again. Or maybe you set up an automated e-commerce store. The key here, the real goal is creating an asset that works for you. Yeah, it's often a ton of work up front, but the end game is to have a system that's bringing in cash with as little of your ongoing time as possible. That's what frees you up to live. But what if you're not quite ready to build a whole new life from the ground up? Well, that brings us to path number 2, the side business. This is the perfect way to kind of dip your toes into the entrepreneurial waters without having to take a huge, scary plunge. A side business is, well, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a venture you run on the side, alongside your main gig, to bring in a little extra income. You can think of it as entrepreneurship with the safety net. You're not betting the farm on this. You're just testing out an idea, maybe learning some new skills, and making some supplemental cash. And here's the fundamental trade-off with a side business. Because you're not quitting your job, because you're not pouring your life savings into it, the risk is incredibly low. But the flip side of that is that the potential reward is also, usually smaller. It's a fantastic way to test the waters and earn more money, but it's probably not the path you'd take to build a massive empire. You see a lot of these side businesses thriving on platforms that already exist, like Etsy or Fiverr or eBay. And these sites are super powerful because they get rid of a huge hurdle, finding customers. They give you instant access to a marketplace that's already built, so you can just focus on what you do best, whether that's crafting things, designing logos, or finding cool products to sell. Okay, now let's do a complete 180 and talk about path number 3, the startup. This is the high-stakes, high-reward world. This is the arena of entrepreneurship that's built for just explosive growth and industry-changing impact. This quote from Paul Graham, the founder of Y Combinator, is honestly the best definition out there. The most important word in that whole sentence is designed. A startup isn't just a new business. It's a business that is intentionally built right from day one for unbelievably fast, massive scale. Every single decision you make is all about growth. But high reward, as you know, always comes with enormous risk. And in the startup world, that risk is, well, it's staggering. Some estimates say that as many as 95% of startups fail. That is a really sobering number, and it just shows you what an incredible challenge this path is. If you want to be a startup founder, you have to be okay with the very real possibility that the whole thing could go to zero. So the startup formula is pretty simple, but it is incredibly demanding. It all starts with a big, often disruptive idea. It requires huge ambition and 100% commitment of your time and your energy. You're taking on massive risk for the potential of a massive reward. And not just in terms of money, but in terms of your impact on the world. And finally, let's explore our 4th path. This one's driven less by profit and more by purpose. It's the social venture. This is for the entrepreneur whose main motivation, their driving force,
is to create positive change in the world.
A social venture is this really fascinating hybrid. It works like a regular, for-profit business. It's trying to be financially sustainable, but its core mission is woven right into its DNA. The main goal is to produce real benefits for society. It's like you're blending the engine of commerce with the heart of a nonprofit.
And to make this commitment official, a lot of social ventures become certified B corporations. Now, this isn't just some marketing sticker they slap on their website. It's a really tough legal and ethical certification. To become a B Corp, a company literally has to change its legal DNA to be accountable not just to its shareholders, but to all of its stakeholders, its workers, its community, and the planet. They are legally required to balance profit and purpose.
So there you have it, 4 very different ways to be an entrepreneur. Now for the big picture, let's put them all side by side so we can really see how they stack up against each other. And this is where the differences just pop right out at you. Look at the trade-offs. A side business is low across the board. Low time commitment, low risk. Then you look at a startup and it's the complete opposite. It's all in, high risk, super high competition. Lifestyle and social ventures, they kind of live in that middle ground, and each one strikes its own unique balance between ambition, risk, and what it asks of you. So after seeing how all these paths are different, what they demand from you, and what they can give you back, the focus really comes back to you. It's time to connect these ideas to your own personal journey. So think back to that very first question we talked about. What do you really want from a business? Is it a muse to fund your adventures, a low-risk side project, a world-changing startup, or a mission-driven social venture? The paths are all laid out. The only question left is, which one are you going to build?